We're going to take a look at a couple viewpoints of objectives, but here we like to say that the role of B2B marketing research is to move the business forward. So we look at ourselves as business people who are partners with our clients. And if you're an internal researcher, you have a seat at the table with the business decision making. What you do does improve the company, increase sales, and again, move the business forward. If we're not moving forward, we're falling behind. Putting together a chart, putting it on the VP's desk, and walking away really doesn't do it. You have to help the decision makers make those decisions so that we increase sales and profitability. We're going to look at a couple differences between consumer research and B2B research in terms of objectives. And again, these aren't all of them, but just common objectives that we see. The first one is understanding customer needs. And in B2B research, we will look at a B2B company is looking at their customer needs in terms of how do they buy the product? What are their drivers? What's moving their business forward? Whereas from a consumer standpoint, you're looking at emotional motivators, psychological drivers, that sort of thing. Next is market segmentation. And on consumer research, we will often use attitudes, psychographics, some behavior, and demographics to create our personas or our individual segments. In B2B, it's much more complex. We're not only looking at business size, distribution, geo-distribution, industry and subgroups within an industry, but also how they purchase products, how they make decisions, what the organizational structure looks like, and so forth. It's much more complex to do B2B market segmentation.
So I think we're all kind of sensing a theme here where consumer research is about personal objectives, where B2B is about business objectives. So going into that, sales and revenue growth is something that is critically important for B2B research, because regardless of the department that is utilizing the research, the methodology that's used, the end goal is always about what is going to drive profitability and revenue. Are we going to change our logo and how will that impact revenue? Are we going to change our suppliers? How will that impact revenue? Where that could be different for consumer research is political research. There's no financial motivation behind that. That's looking at people's personal behaviors and trends. So that's where B2B research is a little bit more specific to sales and revenue growth needs.
Lastly, we're looking at innovation and adaptation. We were kind of chuckling about this earlier. So for a consumer to innovate, I might say, well, I'm going to try a keto diet as my New Year's resolution. That doesn't work out after I eat a bunch of pizza in the third week, so I just give it up. There's not a lot of cost or risk for me to try something new. However, on a B2B standpoint, it's very costly, expensive, and time-consuming to try to innovate on my end. So I'm going to do more research, because if I make a wrong choice or a wrong decision, it's costing revenue, customers, employee jobs, and so forth. So it's much riskier, and research is really needed when it comes to innovation.